Hello out there. My name is Marita Garrett, current mayor of Wilkinsburg, finishing up my first term. I also had the honor and privilege of serving on borough council for 4 years from 2014 to 2018 before being sworn in as mayor of Wilkinsburg in 2018. So one of the things in being the first Black female mayor of Wilkinsburg Borough, um, it was interesting because I'm not originally from Wilkinsburg, and we've had many Black male mayors before me. And I had almost kind of assumed that there would be a Black female mayor prior to me. And so when I was on the campaign trail in 2017, and a lot of people were saying, wow, you would be the first Black woman mayor of Wilkinsburg, there was kind of that feeling of really like, it's 2017 and we still are doing the first and the seconds. So one of my things with that, it's not necessarily excitement being the first Black female mayor, yet it's more of a, kind of a duty or charge to make sure that representation, well, we know representation matters and representation is key, so that, hoping that when people see me in this role, especially our young Black girls, that they add, being mayor or being a council person or being, whatever elected official to their plans when they're thinking about careers. And one of the things with Wilkinsburg, a lot of people, when they hear about Wilkinsburg, sometimes immediately think of, maybe high crime, high taxes, those types of things. And we are an amazing community. I say we're almost kind of like a hidden yet out there gem, because a lot of people don't realize how large Wilkinsburg is. We are only 2.2 square miles, but we have around 15,000 residents. So we really fill out, that 2.2 square miles. And we're close to the city of Pittsburgh and other boroughs such as Edgewood, Swissvale, Penn Hills, Churchill, all roads really lead through Wilkinsburg. So I always feel that we have this potential where, we could use a lot of help, a little bit of help to, expand to that next thing. So a couple of things that been working on or been making my priority, in addition to the nonprofit that I founded back in 2017 called Civically Inc. Civically Inc is an umbrella nonprofit organization where we look at community development, but through the lens of civic engagement, civic education, community engagement. So we have initiatives such as the Free Store Wilkinsburg, which a lot of people are familiar with, addition to the Wilkinsburg Fresh Market, where we're giving out produce at no, I should say premium produce at no charge to residents and community members. In addition to Community Care Wilkinsburg, a program with Grounded, where we're looking to reclaim and beautify vacant lots and spaces. And most recently, the Hunter Building redevelopment project, where we purchased the Hunter Building, the largest building, commercial building, I should say, in Central Business District of Wilkinsburg, to repurpose to make into not only office space, but mixed community public use, where we would love the first floor to be operated and owned by small business owners and entrepreneurs. So that is definitely my top issue. The second issue, tying into some of the things I've said about Wilkinsburg, is looking at potentially merging with the city of Pittsburgh. That's been something that's really come to light really within the news cycle this past year, for efforts to get a referendum on the ballot, looking more like the May primary of 2022. In Wilkinsburg, we've made some great strides in redeveloping our community, revitalizing our community, really, especially after decades of disinvestment, which many of the communities that are represented by my fellow mayors, especially Black female mayors, can have gone through as well too. One of the things that will continue to plague us is the high taxes. There's really not a way around that, and it's so much so that, being a majority Black community, our tax burden, it really hits hard our Black and brown residents who would love to be homeowners in our community or love to start businesses in our community, yet it's not maybe the most cost effective right now. And one of the things why, merging with the city of Pittsburgh, I advocate for is because we've merged and partnered with the city on many other services that have proved very beneficial for our residents, such as contracting their fire, their waste. And, as of most recently, and like the most probably crucial, is partnership with Pittsburgh Public Schools, where our students are part of the Pittsburgh Public School system from grades 7 through 12. So stay tuned for more information on that as those efforts continue. And in terms of what I'm doing to ensure that there's a seat at the table, well, number one, through my nonprofit and through just me, being civically engaged and aware, I'm all about creating your own tables, creating your own space where that we can really serve as our best advocates and not necessarily trying to fit into a seat that that isn't necessarily meant for us. We need to, not only infiltrate some of these spaces, but create our own spaces. I was told when I first ran for council 2013, it wasn't my turn yet. It wasn't my time. And imagine if I had listened to that advice. Imagine if, I'm sure many of my fellow electeds can, feel the same way. Imagine if we listened to advice where someone told us not to or tried to stop us from running. Wouldn't have been here. Here I am in my 8th year of elected office and really proud of a lot of the things that I've done. But one of the most impactful things is when a lot of people, but specifically when younger and Black people tell me that I inspired or I motivated them to run for office. And we really saw that a lot with this most recent primary election, where so many people of all different ages, races, creeds, culture, ethnicities, identities were running for office. And that is what needs to continue. So some advice that I would give to another candidate, or specifically a Black candidate running for office, is, don't wait your term. That was a line given to me, and there isn't this perceived line of, who's next. It's about, do you feel you can, number one, do you have that commitment and passion to serve your community, being a public servant? I take that term very, very seriously when, talking about being a public servant, because it isn't something for the glitz or glamour. You really are serving the public. And, being confident that, yes, you're committed, you're dedicated to serve the public. It'll be very much a thankless job, but yet it's been one of the most rewarding experiences ever. Also, listening to what your constituents and your community members are saying. A lot of basically every issue that I've tackled, or priority issues that I've led the charge for, is because I've talked to the residents. I've talked to my neighbors. This is what they're saying is an issue in our community. This is what they would like to see improve, and all of those things. So really listening to your community members, your future constituents, and letting that guide you into running for office.